PaleNeØ. Could you think of a group that would be more exciting to check out with dear old Neon here? Because I know you're a bit of a metalhead, and this is a group who I have been supporting and checking out actually since around about when their first single came out. This was one of the bands who I tipped off the back of their first single. I thought, oh, it's going to be something really exciting. And do you know what? I'm glad when I get proven right, despite how much I actually don't know. It's nice when I'm right about things. And PaleNeØ have been on the grow, 22,500 subscribers. This new song came out, Crowd Surf Rider. You can see the views are already going up, 530 there. Here's the people who worked on it, a lot of people. But look, the main thing is that PaleNeØ, what's really grabbed me about them, I was really interested when they first came out, just how kind of eclectic their sound was from that very first song, how many little ideas you could hear in there and how cool their image was, and they were being playful and fun but also metal. And ever since then they built on that. Every song's been unique, it's had its own flavor. They've had songs that have been a little bit more funky, they've had songs that have been heavier, different time signatures. I really feel like this is a group who are so creative that they're really making their mark.
Yeah, no, I agree. I've been covering them like you for what feels like a long ass time. Yeah, I love little bands like this. I love it when you pick something up and you watch them grow sort of organically and stuff like that. And it's a testament to how well they've done over the years. For me, they're one of those bands that I feel like I'm just kind of waiting for that next little push from them. I feel like they've been good and that you can see the potential from them. But for me, they haven't quite taken that next kind of big step yet. And that's kind of what I'm waiting for.
I feel like that next step is going to be more of a fame thing than a music thing. So I really do feel like their music has been like super together. Yeah. But of course, as with any band who've only been around like a couple of years, any sort of relatively recent band, there's always going to be a learning curve. That's one of the fun things. However good a band is, there's always room for them to grow. Every band can get better at what they do. That's why we love them. So I'm looking forward to seeing where they grow. This is the new song though. I must say the most recent single, I'm really bad at song names, but the most recent single was definitely the most straight hard rock / metal band a song I'd ever heard from PaleNeØ. It felt like a real crowd pleaser. So I'm kind of hoping that Crowd Surf Rider is going to go into...
I mean, the title has me excited, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, this is definitely... If this turns out to be a ballad, I'm going to be surprised.
Yeah, so it's a love song.
Crowd Surf Rider. Anyway, yeah, please don't sing like that. Right, let's
I didn't say anything. That was all you, bud.
I was talking to them. So we're going to be listening to this on the speakers because we haven't got headphones for that. I need to remember to buy that at some point. But we're going to be listening to this with you. So as always, enjoy. We'll give some comments as we go, and then we'll talk about it a little bit afterwards. All right, here we go. Crowd Surf Rider, the new song from PaleNeØ, came out just about half an hour ago.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm loving the video already. It's almost like a pop melody, but it's like really
weird.
lasting.
After that first riff, definitely went in the direction I didn't think it was going to go. Oh, here we go.
I'm loving that call and answer, the change in the vocal styles. Ooh, nice little,
that was nice. I like that, yeah.
Again, it's moving between so many ideas so fluidly. Even the rhythm, despite being relentless, it's got those lovely little changes in it. This is why we love PaleNeØ. I love that they're keeping this section going.
I know. I'm waiting for that
Here it
drop.
comes.
Give me a tasty drop. Yes! That's exactly what the doctor just ordered.
Done so much in like
I'm
3
loving
minutes.
this. I'm loving this so far. Like the song's not even finished, but I'm gonna say straight away this is my favourite song from them.
I think it really helps that all of this is tied together by a chorus that's actually kind of inviting to come back round to. Oh, we gonna dance?
I'm glad the music video gets a lot of love here for this as well.
Wow. Okay, so in all honesty, I mean, I think there's a lot to be said about this one from the get-go. I mean, I think it's really apparent to me. First of all, it's like a love letter to the live house scene in a weird way. I mean, it's really referencing so much about just having fun at a gig that it just, to me, that jumps out as someone who works with the live house scene predominantly. And of course, you had your first taste of the Japanese live house scene recently as well, so you kind of know what I'm talking about when I talk about just how the atmosphere is like so special there. That I love the fact that as they're climbing up, there's this sort of sense of like they feel very grounded. This feels like a song by a band who was obviously aspiring to big creative sounds that can get you a big hit single and can get you recognized as being ambitious, but at the same time this song feels rooted in a real earthy reality of being a band who come up from a live house. You go see them at Shimokitazawa Mosaic, as I did, and places like that, and it's just like it's a tiny little place, and that atmosphere is incredible. So I think, to be honest, for me, this is beautiful because it plays so well to who they are as a band. But if we just strip this down and looked at it musically alongside, regardless of who they are, just alongside their peers, musically for me, this is absolutely gorgeous in that it does a lot of things that I really like. I mean, it does that most quintessentially beautiful Japanese thing of moving between multiple different genres and styles, but it never feels like it's trying hard. It just effortlessly goes into its next cheeky little turn, its next cheeky little adaptation, whether it be into jazz and then screaming, and then you kind of got pop punk bits, and it's
natural.
flying between everything.
It's naturally flawless as it's doing it. It flows so well. That's the thing. In like a contrast to like a Broken by the Screen, where it's like it's meant to shock the system. This is just like a lovely little hug and squeeze, and it just guides you into the next section of the song. It feels so natural. And I love it.
I mean, ironically, the section, with exceptions to the chorus, the section that was held longest was, I'm going to say jazzy just for the sake of using a shorthand term, but that kind of slow, funky, jazzy bit was the bit it held longest. And I kind of like that because considering the rest of the song is so go, go, go high energy, it was nice to see it kind of embrace that bit and then not just sort of do it as a joke and then stop. It actually kind of let the funk linger a little bit, let you move along before, and that also helped because it gave time to sort of wind back that spring so that when it did eventually come back heavy, like you said, you were waiting for that drop.
I wanted that drop. I was so happy that they gave it to me. I was like, please,
but they built to it. They actually built to it. It felt like it was earned.
And I don't think they lingered too long on it as well. They didn't like make it a massively big bit. It was like they built it up, the drop came, and then they naturally progressed onto it. They're like, we built this up, done a drop, now we're going to go straight back into the chorus again. It wasn't prolonged, it wasn't forced, everything felt so beautiful naturally. There was that one part of the song as well where we both at the same time went, ooh, we were like...
That was in the chorus, but when we first heard the chorus, because the chorus, again, I mean, it grabs you immediately, but it's not one of those obvious chord patterns where it's like, one of those stereotypical, we heard it a million times before. I mean, this has a structure that is familiar to anyone who's familiar with, like, J-pop choruses. It's a bit like that, but this song feels fresh. It doesn't feel like it's just like pushing out a standard earworm chorus. It's a really rewarding melodic chorus that develops over an interesting melody and chord pattern structure. Everything about this feels like it has effort. And I just wanted to quickly come back to what you said about the fact that when the drop came after the sort of jazzy bit, the scream came in and it was just one punch of the scream. And the reason why that was important to me, and one of the reasons why I like, because I think anyone who watches this channel knows that I'm not someone who naturally leans towards music that has a lot of scream vocal in it. But, I do listen to a lot of bands who have that, and I do enjoy it, but it's got to be in the right way. And for me, like most other bands, they'd have the drop, and then it would just be sort of like, 16 bars of, whereas this, it was like, she just used that to like scream, to punch, to bring it in. But then once it was brought back in, it was like, we've had that moment of energy, and then she just went straight back into the melodic bit again. And for me, it was the fact that the screams were used to accent certain changes in the song, rather than just to linger and just scream, scream, scream. And again, I think that she's using her vocals in a way that show, a real intelligence of what the song needs next. Developing the song, moving it along, rather than just let's just be heavy now because we're heavy.
Yeah, you said it perfectly. Then, like, it's her using her voice to kickstart the drop rather than the drop being used for her voice. In the same kind of way that you would see like a Slaughter to Prevail, where the drop would come and the voice is the thing that carries it through. And I had to use that just to make you giggle.
This is a band who not a big favourite of mine.
Whereas this one was just like that. You get that quick sharp, and then it's that. It's the guitar, it's the music, it's the song.
Let's give that a little run back just so you can get an idea, because we come out of that section. And
so impressive.
As you can hear, there's so much nuance in this section as well. The skip to the beat.
I love how fun like the jazz is.
But then when we come back in,
that's all you need sometimes. Just the guitars that
feel the energy there, real well.
And like I guess they don't linger on it too long either. It's like it goes on to that next phase.
Yeah, we move into that melodic section very quickly, and I feel like the whole point there is that the song, the music is everything, vocally, instrumentally. It's kind of like all moving along. It's all telling a story. It's all going in a narrative direction. Yeah. And so many of these heavier bands. One of the critiques I have of certain heavier bands is that they just go heavy and then they just stick with that. Whereas I feel for this, every single time there's a chilled out moment, it feels earned. Every time there's a big heavy moment, it feels earned. When you get that catchy chorus where you want to sing along, it feels earned. Everything in this song feels like it's been earned by what came before, because it's a song that takes care of arrangement. And this is just one of the qualities that has made PaleNeØ so cool from the get-go. And this is why, like I say, even though they are still a relatively small band, they've got 22,000 subscribers, which is still a lot more than they had like a couple of years ago. Yeah. I still feel like they're delivering music which is on a quality par with bands who are at least 10 times their size.
Like this song reminded me of like not a way that a traditional song is writ. This to me felt like a Lord of the Rings trilogy. Like it had a beginning, it had a middle, and it had an end, and it flowed seamlessly. Sorry, I had to get the geek references.
Your references are we have from Slaughter to Prevail, Lord of the Rings.
I'm trying to get you some new subscribers on the channel, man. Come on.
So if you're a big fan of like Gandalf and Slaughter to Prevail, then let me know.
The hobbits are going to Isengard.
And then you have to scream that though. Don't. Yeah, I got to be entirely honest. This makes me very happy about, as I say, when they first came out with that first song, I kind of tipped them. I did them in that video about bands I think you should watch. And I was like, look, they've only got one song, but I think you should watch this band. And, I got the pleasure of meeting them in person and chatting a little bit with their manager as well, which is really nice. And they are, I'm just so happy when I see this, because to me, this is the sort of thing where you feel vindicated. Like sometimes you'll be really excited for a band and they'll do stuff and they'll be good, but it just won't, you'll feel like, oh, you have more potential than you really ever really used. Whereas I feel like PaleNeØ, they are using their potential. Yeah. And I know some people are not massively into some of the changes they do, but for me personally, it's these kind of moments, these kind of songs that demonstrate that they're capable of doing something that makes them more than just another band. It makes PaleNeØ PaleNeØ. It's like you don't go to PaleNeØ as in part of your metal list. You go to PaleNeØ because you want to listen to PaleNeØ.
Yeah.
And that for such a upcoming band is like, that's a peak quality to have.
Ironically, I started off saying they needed to take that next step, so it felt like they never have. This is that next step.
I feel like this is the continuation of a smooth progression, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
And I think as well, what's actually quite interesting is considering the last song, again, apology, I'm shit with song names. Given the last song was kind of like a straight rocker throughout and didn't really do anything to surprise. I think, that was a safe one that I said would be really good for bringing in new fans. And this to me is like, you brought in the new fans, and this is the one that goes, hey, by the way, this is how we flex a bit. Yeah. And I don't mean flex as in showing off. I mean just as in showing what you really got a natural propensity for, which in their case is just variation, flow, arrangement, and the ability to mix together different ideas in the song.
I think this song branches out in such a lovely way that I think it will appeal to a large amount of people. I can't see like people that love J-rock as well as pop to J-metal. I can see a lot of groups coming together for this song and just really vibing and chilling out to it. It hits a lot of marks without being enforced.
This is the kind of song I think where it's not so much the individual things, it's how good you are as a person with dealing with variation. Because I know some people who would like all the individual bits of this, but may struggle with how quickly it moves between them. For me, that's a very PaleNeØ quality, and it's also a quality that I really appreciate in bands who can move quickly between ideas.
I enjoyed it in this song. It was good. It was well executed.
But I know for some people that's jarring. The metaphor I sometimes use is like, and I started using this, I think it was either with Sokoninaru or maybe with Pasco back in the day, is it's got to be like a roller coaster. It's got to leave you feeling like you're hanging on for dear life while you're being thrown in every direction, but you never quite get thrown out the car. You kind of want to have that feeling of the excitement of the whiplash, but at the same time, it's all very controlled, and actually you're being looked after by someone who just wants you to be excited. So, and that's the thing I get from a really good arrangement that moves quickly, a la this kind of thing. Brilliant song. I agree. This is one of my favorites. Might well even be my favorite. Definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah. Like I said halfway through that, I was like, we're not even finished the song yet. I can already clarify it. I was like, yep, this is my favorite song. Like it wasn't even close. Not that saying that their other songs aren't brilliant, but I was just like, this one, I was just like, yeah, I love this. I really top notch
stuff. Also, a little bit of credit to the video. I mean, the video was clearly made in a relatively controlled environment. It's one of those sets that you often see bands go to where there's like a nice venue, and then they got the black bit here, and they got the bar. But it was really well done. The lighting was nicely controlled. It all just flows well. They look like they're having fun. The band is allowed to have their personality be the object of the actual video. Yeah. So a lot of these, I like this idea of having like the fisheye lens like strapped to the microphone. Gives you a real sense of movement, but just everything about this. And then you've got these very telephoto kind of lens shots. Credit to the dancers as well. I mean, I don't know how you dance in a sheet, but if you're dancing in a sheet, then you should get paid double. That's a cool shot, isn't it? Yeah,
very cool.
All honesty, this was absolutely spectacular. Really enjoyed this. The PaleNeØ hype continues. I'm really on board the train. Can't wait to see more of them.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts you want to drop on this?
Are they playing in Japan? Are they playing one of them?
So are they playing in Japan? They're from Japan.
Yeah. But, that's my next question. Like, I want to go and see them now. For this song, I'm like...
So, hold on. So when you say, are they playing in Japan, as opposed to what? Are they playing whilst you're here? There we go. He's here till August the 5th, or whenever the hell I kick him out.
Which will be tomorrow at this rate.
By the way, I do like the fact that we're color-coded to this video as well. But... so hopefully they'll be playing. This is definitely a band. We're going to try go see them. I'm doing our blogs over on Ears to the East as well. Ears to the East is another channel I'm on with Neon. So do remember to check that as well. We'll be posting things a little bit behind them actually happening, but we'll be keeping like good logs for everything we do. And I think PaleNeØ is a band that you and I should go check out.
I definitely, yeah. If we can, definitely will.
That's a deal. All right, PaleNeØ, we're coming to see you. All right, you can let go now. Alright guys, get in the comments as usual. You know how it works. Tell me what you think. Looking forward to seeing the comments on this one, and we'll hopefully see you very soon in Japan for the next one of these. For now, ciao ciao.